Hey guys, right here I have a 2014 BMW 528i M Sport. And today I'm going to make a startup and full vehicle tour video of it, show you the features inside and out. So here's the key fob. Let's go ahead and start it up first. If you notice, the side mirrors are currently folded out. Upon locking the car and pressing and hold on the lock button, the side mirrors will automatically fold in, and upon unlocking, the side mirrors will automatically fold out again. Also, if you press and hold on the unlock button, you are able to roll down all four windows simultaneously, and to roll them back up together, just press and hold on the lock button. As simple as that. The 528i in Malaysia does come standard with BMW's Comfort Access, which is basically BMW's version of a keyless entry and start system. So, just have the key fob on yourself. The doors are currently unlocked. Press this ribbed area to lock the doors. Long press the ribbed area to automatically fold the side mirrors in. And to unlock the doors, just tap the area behind the door handles. In conjunction with that keyless entry, you do have keyless start as well. Just make sure the key fob is inside the car. Put your foot on the brake and press the start button to the left of the steering wheel. The F10 5 Series comes with an electric rack and pinion power steering system. The 528i M Sport gets an M Sport specific leather-wrapped steering wheel with thick sport grips on the sides and M badging at the base of the bottom spoke. There is only one transmission available for the 528i in Malaysia. The said transmission is a ZF-sourced 8-speed sports automatic with Steptronic manual shifting. To shift the electronic gear lever into drive, put your foot on the brake, hit the unlock button on the right side of the lever itself, and pull the lever all the way down. Clicking it over to the left while in drive activates Sport mode, and tipping it up or down while in Sport mode activates the Steptronic mode. There are two ways to use Steptronic, which is either via the plus and minus down by the gear lever or via the pedal shifters on the back of the top two steering wheel spokes. The left pedal downshifts and the right pedal upshifts. For neutral, if in drive, push the lever up once, and if in reverse, pull the lever down once. Speaking of reverse, to engage it, hit the unlock button again and push the lever all the way up. Engaging reverse not only activates the parking sensors and its diagram, but it also tilts the passenger side mirror down to curb view. For park, simply hit the P button on top of the gear lever. The row of buttons to the right of the gear lever perform a number of different functions. The bottommost button enables the parking sensors and its diagram to be turned on or off manually, and the topmost button, if pressed once, activates the traction control, and if pressed for a longer period of time, the car's stability control will be deactivated. The switch in between these two buttons is for the driving experience control. For the 528i M Sport, there are 5 modes to choose from: Eco Pro, Comfort Plus, Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. Comfort is the default setting and there are no changes made. Sport gears the car towards a more spirited drive, and it changes the transmission shift points so it holds onto a gear longer than in Comfort. In this mode, the engine also responds more spontaneously to the accelerator. Sport Plus turns off most of the driving aids and gives the drivers a more engaging and fun drive. Comfort Plus mode lets drivers and passengers in the car have maximum comfort while on longer drives. Eco Pro is the mode to go for when fuel efficiency is needed. Eco Pro changes the characteristics of the transmission, the accelerator pedal, and the climate control to provide drivers with the optimum fuel consumption. The enhanced black panel display, which brings a full LCD instrument cluster to the 5 Series facelift in Malaysia, allows for reconfigurable displays depending on which driving mode you are in. Sport and Sport Plus changes the color theme to red, and it brings up a digital speedometer on the left. Comfort and Comfort Plus is when the instrument cluster is at the default setting with digital analog gauges. Eco Pro changes the color theme to blue, and in this mode, the rev counter is replaced with a fuel consumption gauge. In terms of safety, the 528i M Sport gets 6 airbags, anti-lock braking system with electronic brake force distribution and brake assist, dynamic stability control, dynamic traction control, cornering brake control, tire pressure monitoring system, dynamic braking lights, an immobilizer, and ISOFIX child seat anchor points for the rear seats. Now, let's turn on the hazards, lights, front and rear fog lights, take a look at the engine, and roll down the driver's side window. The 528i M Sport for Malaysia does have 18-inch double-spoke style 613M M light alloy rims as standard. These rims are wrapped in Dunlop SP Sport Max GT run flat tires. The front tires measure 245/45 R18 and the rear tires measure 275/40 R18. Ventilated disc brakes are present at all 4 corners, and the suspension gets double wishbones up front and a multi-link setup at the back. Dynamic damping control (DDC) is present on the 528i M Sport. DDC adapts the chassis and the suspension to the road surface to produce the best road comfort no matter which driving mode the car is in. The 5 Series is BMW's representative in the E-segment executive class. Close competitors to the 5 Series include the Audi A6, the Mercedes-Benz E-Class, and the Jaguar XF. BMW launched the first generation 5 Series back in 1972 as a replacement for the popular BMW New Class Saloon. The first generation 5er, also known as the E12, started BMW's current naming strategy. Since then, there has been 6 5 Series generations, with the current one being the F10. The F10 made its debut at the end of 2009, and the facelift, or Life Cycle Impulse LCI in BMW speak, was unveiled sometime in the first half of 2013. The 528i gets BMW's N20 B20 2-liter dual overhead cams, 16 valves, turbocharged inline-4 engine. This engine features BMW's twin-power turbo technology, double Vanos variable valve timing, Valvetronic variable valve lift, and direct injection. It produces 245 horsepower between 5000 and 6500 rpm and 350 Nm of torque between 1250 and 4800 rpm. 0 to 100 takes 6.2 seconds on the 250 km per hour top speed. With a 70-liter petrol tank, combined fuel consumption for the 528i is 6.5 liters per 100 km. 152 grams of carbon dioxide is produced per kilometer, and the 528i M Sport is rear-wheel drive. The F10 first arrived in Malaysia as completely built-up units in May 2010. At that time, there were two models available, the 523i and the 535i. 2 months later saw the start of local assembly for the 523i. In October of the same year, the locally assembled 528i made its debut. 2011 saw the introduction of the 520D and the 528i M Sport, the latter replacing the regular 528i. There were some changes to the F10 lineup in 2012 too. The naturally aspirated inline-6 engine displacing 2.5 liters and 3 liters in the 523i and the 528i respectively were replaced by a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4 engine in two different tunes. The 523i was replaced by the 520i, while the 528i kept its name. The F10 M5 and the Active Hybrid 5 made its Malaysian debut during this year as well. Lastly, during the fourth quarter of 2013, the F10 LCI lineup was introduced in Malaysia with the 520D, 520i, 528i M Sport, and M5 made available. Exterior features of the 528i M Sport includes automatic adaptive LED headlights, automatic wipers, LED daytime running lights, LED front fog lights, LED indicators for the front, sides and rear, LED rear lights, LED number plate lights, rear fog lights, front and rear parking sensors, BMW individual high-gloss shadowline exterior trim, chrome surrounds for the kidney grille with the slats in chrome and black, and the M Aerodynamics package that comprises of M Sport specific front and rear bumpers, side skirts, and the twin exhaust pipes finished in dark chrome. Right down there, you do have some storage, together with your 2-person memory settings for the fully powered driver's seat. You do have a speaker right here. And right here, you do have your mirror controls, window controls. All of them are fully automatic in both ways. Window lock, as well as your rear sunshade control. Right next to your headlight control, you have the lever to adjust the brightness of your interior at night. And right down here you do have the button to activate or deactivate your heads-up display. Down below you do have some storage. Door sills. And right above the bonnet release lever, you have the button to open up your boot. The driver's seat in this 528i M Sport does get fully powered adjustments with all your controls right there. You also do have manual thigh support. Alright. So let's go ahead and see how she revs. The 528i M Sport does come standard with a quad zone automatic climate control system. All of your front controls are right here. There are a separate set of controls for the rear, which I'll show you later. But for the front, you do have your driver side fan speed, temperature control, automatic mode, as well as different modes. And the same set of fan speed, temperature, automatic and different mode controls for the front passenger. You also do have your front and rear defrost, maximum air conditioning, recirculation, as well as sync. Sync means if you have it turned on, the driver's side will control the fan speed, temperature control, automatic mode, as well as different modes for all 4 zones in the car. If you turn it off, each of the 4 zones will have their own individual controls. The 528i M Sport comes as standard with BMW Navigation System Professional that features a 10.2-inch full-color display with split-screen function, various media connectivity options, BMW Connected Drive, and the Harman Kardon surround sound system with 16 speakers producing 600 watts of power. I must say the Harman Kardon sound system that is standard with the 528i M Sport is actually very good. The screen right above is controlled using your set of controls down here. It is basically a revised version of BMW's iDrive system that now incorporates sort of like a touch sensitive pad right above the knob. The knob still goes to the left, goes to the right, goes up and down as well, scrolls to the left, scrolls to the right, as well as clicks down for enter. You still do have your media, radio, menu, telephone and navigation shortcut buttons, as well as your back and option buttons. As usual, let's start with the menu that's right on top, which is Multimedia. Click the knob down to select that option, and we are brought to the main USB screen. You do have your album art right here if an album art is present, song information to the right with your artist, album, song title, as well as song duration. And to the left, you do have some options. Go back a song, go forward a song, more media options such as audiobooks, podcasts, and video, playlists, search, and your current playing playlist. Click the knob to the left. Brings up your list of external devices. You do have USB, auxiliary, Bluetooth audio streaming. Click the knob to the left once more. Brings you back to your main multimedia menu. You can access your CD, DVD menu from here. Access your music collection. This system has a hard drive built in for navigation, but that hard drive is also partitioned off. I'm not too sure what's the actual capacity, but that part of the hard drive can be used to store your music, hence music collection. External devices basically brings us back to your menu on the right. Sound, you do have your bass, treble, balance and fader, equalizers, surround sound activation, volume settings, as well as resetting it back to default. Clicking the knob to the left once more brings us back to the main menu. So for example, if you're in multimedia and we are in this USB menu, you do not actually need to click the knob left about 3 times or so to go back to the main menu. You can always just hit menu right here, and it brings us back to the main menu straight away. Next up, we do have radio. In radio, you can access your FM, AM, look at your list of available radio stations in the area, perform a manual search and all that. You do have your Bluetooth telephone menu right after radio, and in this menu you can activate or deactivate your Bluetooth system, pair a phone, delete a phone, look at your paired devices, dial a number, look at your active calls, look through your phone book and all that. You do have navigation right after telephone. This car is equipped with navigation, it's just that the code hasn't been entered yet, so this message pops up instead. Office lets you store contacts and notes as well as voice memos. BMW Connected Drive, it lists out all your important numbers in case of an emergency. Vehicle information. One thing interesting about BMW system is that in addition to the paper book owner's manual thing that BMW supplies with the car, there is also an onboard reference guide that you can look through in case you did not want to go through the book. There are 3 ways to search the various parts of the car. Quick reference is number 1. You look through the different sections of the car, such as your displays, your air conditioning system, refueling, owner's handbook in vehicle, opening and closing and all that. Next up, we do have picture search via the different parts of the car, lights, wheels, interior, under the bonnet and all that. And your full-blown owner's handbook. If you do not want to use the knob to spell out the letters, you can actually always use this touchpad right above. Right, so L I G H T. You can spell it out if you do not want to use the knob to spell it out. You also do have an onboard computer that tells you the range, distance to destination, time of arrival. These two menus are only activated once the navigation is active. You also do have your average fuel consumption and average speed. Trip computer. Basically, before the start of a journey or something like that, you can reset this menu and it'll tell you your departure time, elapsed time, distance traveled, average consumption and average speed. You can choose to reset it manually or reset it automatically. Vehicle status. You can also check your engine oil level, check your service requirements, as well as, like I said, check control, which basically tells you whether there's anything wrong with the car. You also do have your tire pressure monitoring system in this menu. Sport displays. Tells you how much power and torque you are using. And lastly, right on top, you do have your efficient dynamics monitor. Tells you your fuel consumption, efficient dynamics information, as well as Eco Pro tips. And that's about it for vehicle information. And lastly, we do have settings. In this menu, you can set up your heads-up display settings with brightness, height, and rotation. Your instrument cluster display information. Your control display brightness. You can also set your time, date, language units, touchpad options, connections, sound, lights and all that. You can also perform a software update. And that's about it for the whole system. Down below the hazard light switch, you do have your central locking. And right down here you do have your CD player. It is MP3 compatible, eject, seek track buttons, your 8 shortcut buttons, your volume and power knob, as well as the buttons to select your different modes, as well as go through between FM or AM. You do have your button to activate or deactivate your auto start stop system, whereby if activated, the engine will momentarily shut off when you arrive at a stop, such as a traffic light or a traffic jam, to save that extra bit of petrol or diesel depending on what the car is running on. Central speaker, your heads-up display, power folding mirrors as shown earlier, and on the steering wheel, the left spoke houses your cruise control, the right spoke houses your audio controls with your volume, selecting your different modes, selecting your different tracks or radio stations, your voice control, help.
To hear the voice commands in the table displayed, say voice commands. To obtain general information on voice inputs, say help with voice input. To hear important short commands with examples, say help with examples.
Cancel. If you do not know how to use the voice control, the system will actually walk you through it once you press the button. You also do have your on-hook off-hook button for the Bluetooth telephone system right here. On the right stalk, you do have your wiper controls, and at the end of the wiper stalk, you do have your automatic wiper activation button. On the left stalk, you do have your indicator controls, and on the end of the stalk, you do have two buttons. The one at the bottom activates your auto high beams, and the one on the top scrolls through your multi-information display. Meter, range, average fuel consumption, instant fuel consumption, average speed, date, turning the display off, and back to your mileage. You also do have your time right there, and outside temperature to the right. The steering wheel in this car is tilt and telescopic. It is fully powered as well. You adjust it using this small little lever right here. You do have a couple of cup holders right here, as well as a power outlet or cigarette lighter depending on what you use it for, and also a small little cutout to hold your key in place. There's also a lid if you do not want the compartment opened. Your electronic parking brake is located right here. It is currently engaged. To disengage it, put your foot on the brake, push it down. To engage it, simply pull it back up. You also do have an auto hold function for the parking brake, whereby if activated and you arrive at a stop, the car won't move forward or roll back. Some storage right here. More storage in the center, with another power outlet, as well as your USB and auxiliary ports. It is also an armrest. Auto dimming, rear view mirror, and right above you do have your interior lights. Sun visor with a vanity mirror and lights for this side. And you do have a grip handle for the driver. Alright, so let's leave the engine on for a little while longer while we go check out the rear climate control system. You do have storage down there. Your window control right up here, as well as a speaker. You do have M door sills at the back too. sunshades for the rear windows. One for the rear quarter window as well. Now onto the rear space. The driver's seat is in a position that I would feel comfortable in. There's not much space to stretch out my legs beneath the driver's seat, but that's probably because I have the driver's seat all the way down. Apart from that, legroom is actually quite good. I have about this much. And headroom is not too bad as well. I have about this much. You do get storage pockets on the front seat backs. Rear aircon vents. And like I said, your rear climate control system. Fan speed, maximum air conditioning, different modes, automatic, temperature for the right side, and temperature for the left side. You do have some storage down below, and a power outlet. You do have a rear center armrest with storage, as well as cup holders. Your rear lights right above. And you do have grip handles with hooks for both sides at the rear. You also do have aircon vents on the B pillar. Alright. So I guess that's it for the startup. We can turn it off right now. And continue with the rest of the tour. Now there are 3 ways to open up the boot. There's the button inside the cabin that I showed you earlier on. There's the touchpad right beneath the BMW badge. And there is also the button on the key fob. Boot space in the F10 series with the rear seat backs in place measures 520 litres. For Malaysian models, the rear seat backs are fixed, hence the boot space cannot be expanded. There is a storage hole to the right of the boot, and underneath the boot floor is a bit of storage. You do have sunshades for this side as well. Adjustable headrests, front and rear. The front passenger seat does get the same set of adjustments as the driver's side. It just loses out on the memory seating. Which means you also do have the manual tie support on this side. Quite a big glove box. And you do have sun visor with vanity mirror and light on this side as well. Alright, so let's start it up with the door closed. Alright, so that's it for the startup and full vehicle tour video of this 2014 BMW 528i M Sport. Thanks for watching and goodbye.